I did start an Unkindness of Magicians. Hey guys, it's Casera, and today I have for you my August week 1 reading vlog. Sunday, July 28th. It has been a while since I've done like legit weekly reading vlogs, and I kind of want to get back to that because I actually really enjoyed doing weekly reading vlogs. So I'm gonna try for the month of August, at least 3 weekly reading vlogs. There's like 5 weeks in August, so I should have plenty of time to be able to do 3 reading vlogs in August. There's a couple days away, but still July right now. So yeah, it's Sunday. To start off, I'll talk about the books that I have started so far. So I'm currently reading Gardens of the Moon by Steven Erikson. I'm not very far into it. I've read the first 2 chapters. I was very intimidated by this book, like super intimidated by it because I had picked it up like 5 years ago, and like I read the first chapter and I was just like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what's going on. And I read the first 2 chapters and I actually feel like I'm getting the information better than I was back then. So I feel like I'm understanding it easier, but it's still a little bit harder for me to connect to these characters at the moment. We'll see how it goes, but so far I'm enjoying this world, so I'm hoping I'll end up really liking this one because everyone who's read the Malazan Book of the Fallen series seems to really love it, and I feel like it's one of those series that you might have to get further into the series before you like really get into it, but I'm definitely excited for this, and I'm hoping that I can finish this one, maybe not this week, but at least soon. The other book that I'm pretty significantly into right now is Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. This is the second book in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series. This one I'm not enjoying as much as I wanted to. I actually did really like Daughter of Smoke and Bone, which is the first book in this series. I generally like Laini Taylor's writing style. She has really great writing style. I absolutely love it. I remember thinking when I read Strange the Dreamer that her writing style would be really good for a paranormal series, which Daughter of Smoke and Bone is the paranormal series. I just find myself not as attached to most of the characters in this series as I really wanted to. So I'm a little more than halfway into it right now, but I don't know how much I'm gonna like it, which makes me sad because I really wanted to like this series. Because Karu is an interesting character. I don't know how I like her situation with, I don't want to give away spoilers because the first book, this is the second book in the series. Yeah, so far it's not my favorite. It's still a pretty solid read, I think. Also, in my most recent TBR, I revealed that the poll from last month's TBR, the winner of that poll is The Night Circus, so I get to reread The Night Circus. I started my reread of it yesterday. Absolutely loving it so far. I love Erin Morgenstern's writing. Absolutely love her writing, and like every time like I get back into this book, I just love these characters more than I did the last time. So definitely really enjoying this so far. I'm trying to take this one a little bit slower than I normally would because this is one of those books where I could totally just like read the whole thing in one day. So yeah, I'm trying to read just like a few chapters every night. So we'll see how that goes. But so far, really enjoying it. And lastly, I plan to finally pick up The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I'm hoping that I can start this one tonight. I've been meaning to pick this one up literally all month long and just haven't gotten around to it, and I've really been wanting to read this one. Also, this is on my book buying ban challenge, so I have to finish this one before I can buy any more books, and it's time for it. So I'm gonna go start this one right now, and I will check in with you guys probably tomorrow. July 30th. Yesterday, I finished Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. So I have to say, I didn't enjoy this one as much as the first one. I think part of the reason why I had a little difficulty with this one was because I was just really interested in the character's backstory than I was in like what the characters were going through currently in the plot of the books. And it just felt like I wanted to read a book about their backstory more than I wanted to read this book, if that makes sense. So like, I still like these characters, well, except for Susanna. I really don't like Susanna. Like, I understand why people do. Like, she's one of those characters that's, I think, quite polarizing because she's kind of like a quirky character. So people who like that sort of character would really like her. But for me, those types of characters have to be like really, really well done for me to like them. And I don't like Susanna. I just don't. And every time she comes on the page, I'm just kind of like, I kind of want to stop reading now. Like, which it sounds horrible because like, I love Laini Taylor. I love her writing. Like as I'm reading the book, it's just so beautiful that like I want to continue on, but the content of the book is not as interesting to me, if that makes sense. So I ended up giving this one 3.5 stars. I will finish the series and read the third one in the series, but I probably won't do that for a while. So yeah, that's how I felt about this. I have made quite a bit of progress on The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I am right there, chapter 7 now. I am really, really enjoying this. I forgot how much I like John Green's voice in his books. He's a very interesting voice for YA books, and I absolutely love it. I enjoy his voice so much. So I'm loving that part of this book. And obviously this is like one of his more emotional books in my opinion. And it's really, really good so far. I really like Augustus. I really like Hazel. And like, she just had this like kind of breakdown where she goes, I'm a grenade is like her thing. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, Hazel, you are amazing. I hope you don't die. So yes, really, really enjoying this so far. So I'm really glad I finally picked this one up because I waited a really, really long time to pick this one up. But as far as YA contemporaries go, this one is really good so far. After I finished Days of Blood and Starlight, I needed a new audiobook. So I decided to pick up Dark Matter on audio. And wow, this one is really good too. I didn't know anything about this book going into it. Like, I knew nothing. It is a very interesting concept. I don't even know if I want to tell you guys. Like, it's revealed in like chapter 2, but at the same time, like, it's one of those things that I kind of like being surprised by. Really, really loved being surprised by it. So like, I'm on chapter 5 now. Not very far into it, but so good. So good. If you've read Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid, it has a similar concept to this, but this is more sci-fi than that one is. But oh, so good. Really, really enjoying this one. So yes, that is all I have got for you guys right now. And I'm just really, really happy with what I'm currently reading. So I will check in with you guys later. So it's Wednesday, July 31st, and last night I finished Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Oh my gosh, this was so good. I don't know what I was expecting from this book because I don't know, like, I didn't know anything about this book, but it's kind of like a sci-fi thriller. So I would put it like on the same like sort of plane as The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton and Bird Box by Josh Malerman. Like, it's the same type of book. This one is a little bit more scientific than the other two. There's a little bit more explanation as to what's going on, and I really liked that aspect of it. Like, I'm deep down, I'm a little bit of a nerd. So like all of the science-y stuff that actually happens in here, like I really, really loved. One of my best subjects in school was always physics. Like, I was a physics tutor in college. There's a lot of great physicsy stuff going on in this book that I loved so much. So much. So yes, I ended up giving this one 5 stars because it's just so well done. So well written. I didn't like the ending necessarily, but other than that, I was just so into this book. It was so good. I wish they had like a movie or a TV show for this because it would be so good. Like, it would be so good. I have the day off today, so I'm gonna be doing a lot of stuff. I'm probably gonna be doing a lot of errands, so I'll have to pick up another audiobook at some point today. But before I get to that, I do want to make a little bit more progress on The Fault in Our Stars because I was supposed to pick this one up last night. I just couldn't. I just decided to pick up the Dark Matter. Like, usually when I'm done with like my errands and stuff and work for the day, I'll like put down my audiobook and pick up a physical book. Well, I just picked up Dark Matter as the physical book because I just couldn't get enough of it. So today I'm hopefully gonna try and read most of The Fault in Our Stars because I have a lot of time today. So that's what I'm gonna go do, and I will check in with you guys later. This book is gonna be tragic. I can feel it already. I tried my best not to get spoilers of this book before I read it, but I'm on chapter 14 now. I have like less than 100 pages left, and I think I know what's gonna happen. I'm not happy about it. Not happy about it at all. I should have known this book was gonna end like that. Like, it was like Looking for Alaska all over again. Anyways, it's Wednesday night. I finally finished The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, obviously. Unlike Looking for Alaska though, which I actually didn't enjoy most of Looking for Alaska except for the ending. I loved pretty much all of this book except for the ending. I mean, I I did like the ending. I just want more closure out of my cancer books. You know what I mean? I need more closure than that. I can't have it end that way. There was some closure, so you know, there is some closure in this book. I'm pretty far behind on the times when it comes to The Fault in Our Stars, so pretty much everyone who's watching this has probably already read this book, so you guys probably know more about this book than I do, but I really enjoyed it. It was heartbreaking in all the right ways, and it was just a really good read, and it's smart in ways that a lot of YA books are not smart, and I really, really enjoyed it, so I ended up giving it 5 stars. It's been a little while since I've updated this vlog. It is now Friday, August 2nd, and over the last couple of days, I have been reading the Rainwild Chronicles by Robin Hobb. So I read City of Dragons and Blood of Dragons. I ended up giving both of these 4.5 stars. I know it sounds like I read a lot. These are basically one book, like that is split into 2. It's basically one book that the publishers decided to split into 2. And I actually vlogged this separately as my Rainwild Chronicles vlog. If you want more of my in-depth feelings on that, you can definitely check out that vlog. It is spoilery though, so just a heads up. I vlog all of those with spoiler discussions in them, so if you want to, you can check those out. After I finished those though, I decided to finally start an Unkindness of Magicians. I am not very far into it at all. Like, I've been listening to it for maybe 10 minutes, the audiobook that is, and I can understand why it's compared to the Night Circus a lot. It has the same kind of a detached tone of like that third person narrative, and definitely gives it a magical feel to it. I don't know, I don't like the audiobook narrator. I wish it was Jim Dale. If Jim Dale had done it, I feel like the audiobook would just be so much more magical. But you know what, it's fine. So far I'm enjoying it. I don't know what's happening in it. I don't know anything about this book yet. There are houses of magicians, and there's gonna be a competition to basically become the ruler of the unseen world, which is just really cool. So I completely understand why it's compared to the Night Circus though. I don't know if the writing is as good as the Night Circus is. I will let you guys know, but so far I'm getting those vibes. So yes, definitely enjoying this so far. That's all I have for you guys right now, and I will talk to you guys later. So it's still Friday, and I've been making a lot of progress on An Unkindness of Magicians. I've been listening to the audiobook. I'm now on chapter 7 right there. I really don't like the audiobook. The audiobook's really annoying me. It has a female narrator, and it has both female and male protagonists, basically, that it's from their point of view. But what's really annoying me is all the guys have like this weird like staccato voice. They have like a pause between each word, and it's just like the women sound normal, but like every single guy just like talks like this, and it's really annoying me. Like, I can't get over it. I do like the content of the book so far. The content of the book is really interesting, and the idea behind it is really interesting. I'm not really sure how the characters know each other. It doesn't really make sense sometimes how the characters know each other, because some characters really shouldn't know each other, but then they do know each other, and that's weird. Maybe they're supposed to know each other and they just haven't told us why they're supposed to know each other yet. So far, it's really interesting. Definitely really fast-paced plot. Like really, really fast paced, which I've been a lot more used to slower plots than I am to this. So yeah, this one's going a little bit fast for me, and I really don't like the audiobook. So I'm gonna switch to the physical book for this one. I don't have time to read a physical book right now, so I'm gonna pick up a different audiobook for now. So I have the audiobook for The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch, which I had planned to read this one physically, which I'll probably switch between the two for this one as well. I really want to start this one, and the audiobook's going to expire in like a week or so. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the audiobook for this one, and hopefully it turns out better than the last audiobook, because I really didn't end up liking that one very much at all. Not because of, like I said, of the book, but because of the audiobook narrator. So yes, definitely excited for this, and we'll see how much I like this one. But I have a feeling I'm going to love this book, just like so many people love this book, and I really want to know why. I really want to see why, and I'm so excited for this one. It's really rainy outside, so I really don't feel like going out and doing anything, so I'm just gonna stay in and read for a little while, because that's what I feel like doing today. highly doubt I'm gonna finish any books today. So I forgot to mention this, but like 3 days ago, I started The Last Samsara by Kristen Cicerelli. I don't know how I forgot to mention this to you guys. I think probably because I had planned to wait until I finished The Last Samsara before I started An Unkindness of Magicians. But as you guys know, I was just so excited at the end of my audiobook that I wanted a new audiobook, and I picked up An Unkindness of Magicians. But I didn't like the audiobook for An Unkindness of Magicians, so I picked up The Lies of Lamora. Don't forget that I'm still reading Gardens of the Moon, and I'm currently in the middle of a reread for The Night Circus. So I'm currently in the middle of a ton of books right now, and I highly doubt I'm gonna finish any of them today. I'm gonna start really quickly with The Last Samsara. I haven't gotten very far into it because I got really distracted by other books, as you can tell. I'm enjoying it so far. It has some really interesting ideas. That's really all I have to say about it. Like, I'm on chapter like 2 or something like that. So there's not really much for me to say yet. I did like try the audiobook previously, and I don't really like the audiobook, so I personally don't recommend the audiobook for The Last Samsara. But so far, I am enjoying the physical book. Then we have The An Unkindness of Magicians by Kat Howard. I'm a lot farther into this one. I'm on chapter 8, I think, which is where I left off yesterday. I didn't really read very much more than that. I'm really enjoying this one so far. It's interesting, let's put it that way. There are a lot of different characters. It's a little bit difficult to follow. I'm a little over 100 pages in now, and a lot has happened, and you don't really get to know the characters very much before we're learning a different character's plot line. And there are things you're not really sure what's going on, if that makes sense. Like, there's things with the magic, for example, that you're not really sure what's going on. There are things with the characters that you're not really sure what's going on. You're not really sure why some characters know each other and why some don't know each other. And then like some of these characters' backstories are very mysterious. So there's a lot of mystery in here. I don't know how much it's leading towards actually answering. So how much I end up liking this book greatly depends on what the ending ends up being. Because as of right now, I don't know. I just don't know. Then we're gonna talk about The Lies of Lamora. I'm really enjoying this one so far. I'm pretty far into it. I'm right there, 250 pages in after one day, which is crazy, but really, really enjoying it right now. I've heard really great things about this one. It's a bit slower in the beginning than your typical fantasy book. It seems more character driven than your typical fantasy book, but I like that about it. One thing I will say that is a little difficult to follow is that it jumps back and forth between the past and the future, and on the audiobook that's really difficult to follow because like at one point you're listening to an audiobook, obviously like a man, and then suddenly he's like a 6-year-old child and you're like, wait, what happened? So sometimes I'm just having to look back at like the audiobook chapter titles just to see where I am in the story because it jumps back and forth a lot. But overall, really, really enjoying this so far. Really, really excited to see the ending because I've heard the ending of this one is really, really good. Next, Gardens of the Moon. I haven't talked a lot about this one on my vlog. I did make a lot of progress. I'm right here, chapter 5. So I read 2 chapters this week. I'm thinking I might want to vlog this one separately just because I have so many questions. Like so many questions. But I think by the time you guys see the vlog, I won't have as many questions. So never mind. I'm not gonna vlog it separately. I'm actually getting into this one now. There's definitely a lot of intrigue in this world. Like there's like hints, little things that are catching my insight that I'm just like, oh, that's cool. But like he moves past it really quickly. And like I'm hoping like some of those things I get to see more of later just because they're just like tiny little things that give me insight into the world that aren't really explained, which I mean, I guess that was gonna happen going into this book, but it's interesting. It's very interesting, just like gleaning what I can from the book and like about this world because it's an interesting world. It's really, really interesting. Like there are hounds, the Hounds of Shadow, which is interesting, like the type of things that the hounds could do. There's this moment where something seems to disappear in mid-air, which is interesting. Then you have like the tarot card reader. I don't know if they call it tarot cards. I might be wrong about that. There's a character named Locke who is apparently a marionette, which is interesting. One of the characters just died, sort of. I'm in chapter 4, so that's not a spoiler. And I didn't tell you who it was, but that was interesting. And the whole conversation he had at the gates, that was interesting too. Like There's so much going on that I'm not really sure where this is going, but at the same time, I'm really excited for it. It is one of those books that I'm gonna have to read a lot slower than I typically do. I mean, I only read 2 chapters in 1 week, so that is already a lot slower than I typically do. So I'll probably be reading this one like all month, but I'm definitely excited for it. And lastly, we have The Night Circus. I'm a lot further into The Night Circus. I'm right there, which is like about 60% of the way in. I could probably finish this one today if I wanted to. I don't want to finish it today, so it's not gonna happen. You guys know I love The Night Circus. I love everything about it. The Night Circus is a weird book for me because I generally have strong attachments both to characters and to plot. And in The Night Circus, I really don't have strong attachments to either. I have more of a strong attachment to just world building in general, and specifically to imagery and the author's writing style. The author's writing style is so good. There are just moments in this novel that like leave me in awe of it just because of how beautifully it's written. And one thing I would say about Erin Morgenstern's writing style versus other authors, a lot of other authors do imagery in a static way where you can see a beautiful image appear after reading their words. But Erin Morgenstern, the images move. Like my favorite scene is one of the very first ones. In the very beginning, when Celia first meets her father and she gets angry and breaks a teacup.
Teacup on the desk begins to shake. Ripples disrupt the calm surface as cracks tremble across the glaze, and then it collapses in shards of floured porcelain. The cold tea pools in the saucer and drips onto the floor, leaving sticky trails along the polished wood. The magician's smile vanishes. He glances back at the desk with a frown, and the spilled tea begins seeping back up from the floor. The cracked and broken pieces stand and reform themselves around the liquid until the cup sits complete once more, soft swirls of steam rising into the air.
In that, like 3 sentences or whatever it was, you can clearly visualize the cup breaking and then coming back together. It was just so well done, and I think the first time I picked up the book, that's when I realized how good Erin Morgenstern was as an author. That one scene has just stuck with me ever since then. And this was a while ago that I read The Night Circus for the first time. Rereading it now, there are just so many more scenes like that one that are just sticking with me, and I absolutely love it. I am gonna do a full review on this one because I said I would for the poll, because this one won the Choose My Reread for the month in my last month's TBR, so I'm excited for that. But yes, so good. Really enjoyed this book. As I'm probably not gonna be finishing any other books today, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off on this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I post videos frequently on this channel, so consider subscribing. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up to support my channel. All social media links are in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.